patient in the emergency department, and they can't physically break away. And are we going to tell that patient, I'm sorry, we can't do that right now because the supervisory physician is tied up, but their well-trained PA can't go and take care of that particular patient? We need to be able to, the people that we train, let them do what we've trained them to do. And I fully and 100% back that the supervising physician is as responsible for what that PA does as what that PA does. And I'm vice chair of the credentials committee at LSU Health Science Center in Shreveport. And every person that comes through the practice of medicine in my establishment has to come through our credentials committee. We review their credentials, we either approve them or we deny them. And every 2 years, those credentials come up and we re-review them. Whether it's a physician, whether it's a PA, whether it's a nurse practitioner, what have you. We review all of those things. And I myself, as well as the advisory board, completely believe that the supervisory physician should review those credentials, and if PA's credentials to do those procedures, then they should be able to do them. If you have a rogue PA out there that's doing something that they shouldn't be doing, then not only should that PA be held accountable, but that supervisory physician should be held accountable. Let these folks do what we train them to do. Let them take care of the patients of this particular state and not limit them and limit the health care that we're providing our particular patients. Because what we're going to see is we're going to see freshly graduated PAs and we're going to see experienced PAs. Then they're going to finally say, they're going to wake up one day and go, you know what? I spent my last 20 years practicing medicine in this state to help these people. And somebody's saying I can't do it anymore, I'm going to go practice someplace else. And I think you'll see that, I believe Kim Myers has some information for you later on today about the percentage of graduates that we've retained in our state up until this year, practicing medicine for our people in our state. And just the rumor of this list, you're going to see the difference in what our graduates are going to want to do and what our PAs are going to do. I'm losing one of my most experienced PAs. She's leaving to go to Texas because it's just easier. So please take that into consideration before we pass this rule.
Thank you, Dr. Greer.
Thank you for letting us be here this morning. As most of you, I'm also a practicing physician, and Dr. Greer trained me and sent me out into the woods, if you will, and I'm now in private practice, practice a little bit different medicine than she does, but we're here as physician advisory board members, and at the end, I know that this is not a dialogue, but for information purposes, if you have any questions for us, we want you to feel free to ask us from an advisory board or supervising physician, or as someone who teaches on the faculty for them. I've had the pleasure of watching the PAs, this program in our state evolve over the last 14, 15 years since their first graduating class. And it has been an honor to see the tide, I guess, rise, if you will. We're watching stronger ladies and gentlemen graduate from this program, and it's been comforting to know, because as Dr. Greer said, once they get out, it's a whole different ballgame when you no longer have a textbook. And we train them to do what we feel that they're competent to do. But it's not our decision in a hospital setting, it's the hospital's decision. And as all of you know, as faculty of hospital, you have to be credentialed. And it's those credentials from that hospital that says they have certain criteria, and they look at objectively, and not subjectively, objectively, of how many procedures have been done, and are they qualified or are they not. Of course, the law says that it's up to the supervising physician to give that privilege or to extend that to the physician assistant or to the extender. But it's the hospital's job to credential that extender. And that is, I believe, when we had our phone call, Dr. Dawson, when was that call? 6-8 months ago? When we talked about that and the responsibility of the supervising physician, because that's, I believe, how our legislature intended that to occur. And there has to be, just as we as physicians have to be held accountable, we have to be held accountable for our PAs that work under us too. I will close as a matter of time, but do you have any questions for us as physician advisory board members?
I think it's fair to say that the board certainly appreciates the working relationship it has with the committee, and we've had an opportunity, the board's had an opportunity to dialogue frequently. So as we walk through this process, if there's any need for further information, certainly.
We serve at the pleasure of the governor and the legislature, and we're here to assist you guys and ladies, excuse me. But also, we're here to, we're here to do whatever we can to make sure that the patients in the state receive the highest level of care. As you well know, we're a different place here, and we have a great shortfall in medicine, not only financially but also in the numbers. Our patients are the ones that we're here for today.
Thank you, Dr. Appreciate your comments. Dr. Steen Tarwick is the next.
Treywick,
Treywick, I'm sorry. That was Trailer, I'm sorry. Kim Mayer, PA.
Board members, thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Kim Meyer. I'm the program director for the physician assistant program at LSU Health Sciences Center Shreveport. I'm here, I guess, to offer two pieces of information for you. Historically, the program has graduated over 400 graduates to practice in the state of Louisiana. That's one of our main mission statements. And we've achieved that mission, I believe, by retaining about 85% of our graduates here. We're very proud of that. But we've got a problem this year. We just surveyed our most recent graduating class of 32 students. 2 of them have already left the state. 11 of them actually have jobs here in Louisiana. And 19 of them are still unemployed. That is very new to us. Usually we have about 90% employed on the day that they graduate because of different employment opportunities that we put in place for them throughout their educational process. But the bottom line is this rule change is going to effectively drive them out of the state. If they can't find a job here, there are plenty of jobs across the nation for PAs, as you see advertised in PA journals every day. We also teach a class to our first year students called PA Professionals, where we talked about this rule change. And the general consensus among those class members was, why would we want to practice here when Louisiana is moving backwards instead of forwards? So I offer those two statements to you.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Our next speaker is Dr. Lester Prats.
Good morning. My name is Lester Prats, 511 Cena, Metairie, Louisiana, 70005. I am here on behalf of Oxford Health System. I am the co-director of the Advanced Practice Clinicians at Oxford Health System. I'm also a urologist and section head of urology. I have had the pleasure of working with physician assistants for the past 15 years on a personal basis and also in my capacity over all of the advanced practice clinicians over the past year. I appreciate the efforts of the board to maintain safety for our patients. At our institution, our advanced practice clinicians are credentialed in exactly the same manner that physicians are credentialed. When they apply, they have to prove that they can do the procedures or that they have been trained in the procedures or that they will receive training in the procedures. They're credentialed, again, just like the physicians are. They continuously undergo 50 evaluations at 1 month and 3 month intervals and ongoing performance evaluations or OPs at 1 year. They're re-credentialed every 2 years. In my dealing with the physician assistants, I think that I'd like to make a couple of comments about the personal supervision, some things that I disagree with that are on the list here. For instance, insertion or removal of an intra-aortic balloon pump, I agree that that